When you think about getting a pet bunny, one of the primary considerations is where will this bunny live in your home? Those are the environmental needs for a pet bunny. So most times you'll want a habitat that provides enough space for your bunny and facilitates some of its other needs integrated into the main habitat. So this is our primary recommendation for a bunny habitat. This is an oxbow cage. And there is a variety of important features that make this a great choice for a bunny. So when we talk about the size of the cage, this particular version is over 40 inches, and then they have, so this is considered the extra large. They also have a large, and as long as you're using the play yard, the large is okay for the dwarf varieties of bunnies. In general, more space is better than less space. There is a third size that is only geared towards guinea pigs and is not appropriate for the bunny. So you need to be looking at the large or the extra large when you're considering a bunny habitat. So if we look at this habitat, the first thing that might stand out to you is this silo. So 70% of a bunny's nutritional needs are hay. So providing a huge way for the bunny to access hay and a huge amount of hay so you don't run out is very helpful. So you load this silo through the top. You can push more hay down into it and the whole thing should be filled. And then as the bunny eats the hay, you're going to want to keep loading from the top and just keep this thing full at all times. So this is a unique feature to this particular habitat and it's really great. Now the other thing then that is very important when you think about a bunny habitat is how will you access the bunny? How will you get the bunny out of the habitat? How you access the accessories in the habitat? So this particular cage has these little tabs that you just swivel to the side, and that allows you to open up the entire front panel. So this is great when you're doing your initial setup to put things and position them where you want them. This also allows easy in and out access if you're gonna reach in and grab your pet bunny and get it out of its habitat. And then as we look at the other elements of this particular habitat, it has this level. So some bunnies will climb up to the next level. The area underneath there is where you can put a hiding spot. So we have a variety of hiding spot options. A hiding spot is very important for the bunny's overall comfort level in its habitat, but that will go right underneath the shelf, and that's very nice. You do have a side door, so we have our side door open, and we actually have an included play yard with this particular habitat. That really triples the size of the overall environment and gives the bunny some space to run around. So that's a great feature. So this has a ramp that's detachable. You can then close the main habitat, but this particular door right here is going to be your bunny's way in and out of the main enclosed cage. In most cases, you're going to, when you're not supervising the bunny, not have it in the play yard. You're just going to have it in the main enclosure. The play yard gives you plenty of space for extra fun items. This particular habitat also does include a water bottle and does include a basic dish. We can talk about some of our other options for those items, but those are included with the habitat. If you're going to do one of these oxbow habitats, the other thing that you always want is a water-resistant, leak-proof floor. So this is actually the floor cover. So this is going to help if you had carpeted floor, bunnies can dig and they'll rip up your carpet. So this will prevent that. This will also prevent any potty mistakes on your actual floor, and it just kind of makes it a more continuous environment where it's actually all enclosed. The bunny's not on your actual floor in your home. We also have a mesh cover. So if you had other pets that have free reign, such as a cat, you wouldn't want the cat to be able to get in and mess with your bunny right away. So having this mesh cover over the play yard is really helpful to containing other animals and also preventing your bunny from jumping out, because as a bunny matures, they could absolutely leap over this fence. So you want to have something that keeps them in place. So that kind of makes it rounds it out and makes it an overall great choice. The other features of this habitat are that it has wheels. So that allows you to roll it from room to room. You'll notice that the full assembled size of this is quite large. So this is probably not a habitat that's going anywhere other than on your floor. So you have to have an area kind of cleared out for it. To actually do maintenance to the floor, you just have latches on either side and the entire wire portion will unclip from the plastic base. That'll allow you access to dump out the bedding in the bottom and also to change out any litter pan that you may have in there. To secure the top, you literally have the two toggles here and here. That keeps the top in place. So it's nice and secure, looks really good. You actually have this same hatch on the rear side. So depending on how this is set up in your home, you can access it from the front or the back with that hatch style. So that's really convenient to get your bunny in and out and to do service to the environment. Now, you may want to upgrade certain features of this habitat. So we have some options for you in terms of additions. As we've discussed when we talk about the bunny's nutritional needs, hay is 70% of a bunny's diet. So the main habitat has a very large hay silo. Providing additional areas where the bunny can reach hay is a good idea, particularly if you're going to leave them with access to the play yard for a large part of the day. So you have a basic hay feeder. This will hang on the wire anywhere you have wire. So you could hang it on the wall of the habitat to where if there's any hay that falls, it falls inside the enclosed floor, or it could go on any of the perimeter walls of the habitat. You have a hay ball on a rack. So the hay ball is called a roll in the hay. And this hay ball is hangable. You could hang it on the wire. You could also allow it to have no stand at all and just roll around the floor. Or it has a stand where it will just sit on the floor of the play yard or the floor of your main habitat. So that's a fun thing. Your bunny can roll it and grab the hay out of it. We also have a hay corral. So the hay corral is made of wood. If the bunny chews it up, that's going to have a functional benefit to their teeth. And so this is, again, a thing that you use when you have space. So probably on the play yard floor would be one more way to access hay in the main habitat. We also have a veggie basket. So this can be used for veggies or for hay. You can hang it from the top of your habitat or hang it from the sides. Has a little bell. The bell is removable. It's got like a keychain style split ring that you can take the bell off if you don't like the dingling of the bell. So that's a fun thing to help enrich the environment. This particular habitat comes with a plastic dish. The dish will not last very long. It does not hold that much food. So you have other options for dishes. This is a clamp and lock dish. So this is good for the walls of the play yard. You can attach it there and the bunny cannot dump the dish over. This would not be good in the main habitat unless you put it on the upper level, because the depth of the floor in the main habitat will be too high for the bunny to reach into the dish. We do have some dishes that would go on the floor. You have a basic non-tip ceramic dish. The benefit of ceramic dishes is that the bunny can't chew it up, and then this is flared on the bottom, so it's also harder for the bunny to tip. Sometimes bunnies are going to tip over a lightweight dish just because they can. So this does not allow them to do that. If you find that your bunny really likes its pelleted food and eats a lot of its pelleted food very quickly, or if you find that your bunny digs or poops in their dish, these are all things that bunnies might do in their dish, you have this type of a slow feed dish, which would also prevent some of these other behaviors because you have these raised sections. So the bunny, if it's eating, has to eat around the little raised sections. Otherwise, the raised sections might help prevent the bunny from going potty in its dish. And again, it's ceramic. It's not going to get chewed up. The other nice feature of this particular cup is it has graduations to let you know how much food you've actually put in here. So if you're trying to keep your bunny on a diet of a specific amount based on its weight, you actually have them pre-measured right inside the dish so you know how much food you've given your bunny. So those are all options for dish upgrades. Now this particular habitat comes with a 16-ounce water bottle. It's either 12 or 16 ounce. I think it's a 16 ounce. there are other options above and beyond what is included here. You may find that the bunny drinks that water very quickly and you have to refill it multiple times per day. So you can get a larger bottle. This bottle here is a 34-ounce bottle, and it has a very nice, secure way to attach it to the wall of the habitat. This uses a spring system, the one that's included. The bottle that's included with the habitat includes a spring system that you then wrap around the side bars to hold the bottle in place, whereas this bottle has a much more robust clamp system. This bottle also allows you to unscrew the cap, so then you could bring a pitcher to the bottle and refill the water on a regular basis instead of having to remove the entire bottle from the side of the habitat. So that's great. Very practical if you have to regularly top off your bunny's water, which of course you will. Now, some bunnies will chew on their water bottle, and for those cases, they actually make a completely chew-proof glass water bottle. And this also has a little bit more of a substantial clip and spring way to hold there. This clip will attach on the interior of the cage or the exterior of the cage, so you just have to angle the spigot either inside this is probably an inside the cage mount, where you would have it so that the spigot is angled away from the bottle, this then being the exterior of the cage, this being the interior of the cage. This also has a little colored, it's like a green or blue colored piece that floats at the water line, so you can very easily see where the water line is at visually on the habitat. So those are all some additional environmental needs for your bunny habitat. So the oxbow habitats are the primary. We have a couple other options that we'll talk about. This style of habitat is the other style of habitat that we carry for pet bunnies. So this particular brand is Living World. There are other brands that we may offer from time to time that are going to have similar features. So the big difference between the Living World, or basically this style of habitat, versus the oxbow habitat is that there is no play yard option with this sort of habitat. So that may mean that you need to do a separate exercise pen or just supervise your bunny in a room that doesn't have a lot of places where the bunny can get behind. You don't want to have your bunny out and about in a room that has lots of seating where the bunny can get underneath the couch and underneath the side chairs and things like that, behind end tables, and have access to power cords. All of those are safety hazards. So it's really better to provide some sort of contained area for your bunny to run around outside of its main habitat if the habitat does not include a play yard. So we have this particular habitat. This is the extra large Living World. This is the size that we're going to recommend for bunnies. Living World makes two smaller sizes. Neither is really ideal for a bunny because the habitat itself it's not really providing a ton of space. This one is good. This is a 47-inch, but the other two sizes are less than 40-inch, so they're not that great for a bunny. So if we look at the features of this habitat, the first thing that is very helpful and noteworthy is that you have large access above. So this actually has two distinct sides where you can open it up and get in there and interact with your bunny. So that's very nice. The other elements that are included in this habitat, you have a built-in hide, and the shelf and the hide are integrated, so the bunny can get under there and feel completely enclosed, so there's no need to buy a separate hide inside this habitat. The dish is integrated on the top of the shelf. It is a plastic dish, but they've done something a little innovative here. They have a lip that the dish sits on, so that reduces the chances that the bunny is going to grab that dish and toss it. It is plastic dish. There is the ability for the bunny to chew that dish, so that's one thing you'll have to navigate with this habitat. We've talked multiple times about the need for regular access to hay. Hay is 70% of a bunny's diet. So this particular habitat features an external hay manger, so you load from above, and the side of the habitat provides a fence where the bunny pulls the hay through the side of the actual habitat. So that's fine, that's a decent hay manger, and because it's exterior to the main habitat, they can't chew it up. So that's nice because it's a plastic hay manger. You may yet want to provide an additional source of hay somewhere inside this habitat. Now the Living World home also has a water bottle. It's got a special angled bracket. So you're able to slide that bracket, and then when you pull the bottle upright, it is fastening the bottle in place. You use a horizontal bar to brace the bottom of the water bottle. So the water bottle is included, and that's a fine water bottle. It's clear so you can see what's in there. So that's the main features of this Living World cage. You do have a front door, which is a slide. So it's got an overlap here, which kind of serves as a latch. So you have to kind of come over that overlap to then slide the door open. So if you did buy a separate yard to attach to the side of this, that might be a thing. The only thing would be you'd have to probably modify it to where this opening would line up with an opening you cut in the side of the separate yard. So that's the Living World habitat. So again, this comes in 3 sizes. Only the extra large is rabbit appropriate. And we have this available as a full kit, or you can buy the habitat and then get extra stuff to add on to it. So that concludes the environmental needs for bunnies. If you have any other questions about how to provide for the environmental needs of a pet bunny, please come to the store and speak with one of our pet counselors.